Ladies and gentlemen, how about another story out of Alabama? This is the second story I think this since the past couple of days that I've done about Alabama. In this case, you have a biological father, and I'm gonna tell you guys something. It just doesn't sit well with me when you have a bunch of young people trying to be parents. In this case, what you have is a 19-year-old man, and how he ends up with access by himself to this beautiful little girl that you're getting ready to see on my screen here in a moment. Let me see if I can pull her picture up real quick. So I got a lot of pictures of him. Look at that baby right there. Beautiful baby girl. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I love everything about her. I love her name. She got the cutest little smile. Malia Stormy Smith. I love that baby's name. This baby was done such an injustice to her own DNA biological father. It is absolutely ridiculous. Let me tell you guys. Court documents, not my words, but court documents that y'all want to get mad about. Jay, you don't know what you talking about. You wasn't there. You don't know what was going on. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, according to court documents. If you don't like what I got to say, then go complain to the news, go complain to the courts, go complain to the police, and tell them y'all wasn't there. Y'all don't know what y'all was talking about. Y'all need to go do that to them too, rather than blowing up my email and my comment section, okay? Court documents are revealing chilling new details in the case of a 19-year-old Opelika father accused of murdering his 2-month-old daughter. 2 months old. She didn't even see it coming. That is such a beautiful little baby. You give me that little baby girl, I would guarantee you she will grow up and become something great, just like my daughter. And that's why I love my daughter so much, because she's mine. And I take pride in being a father. But her father, unfortunately, is just a terrible individual. And I think he is done on planet Earth and never needs to get another shot at doing anything else in life. That little girl, her name is Malia. Malia Stormy Smith. These kinds of cases that take a piece of your soul, according to the police chief, Shane Healy. And I do understand where he's coming from. In a deposition filed with Lee County Court System on Friday, September 17th, just 3 days ago, an Opelika police officer at East Alabama Medical Center saw Smith walk from the parking lot with no urgency while carrying a car seat covered with a blanket. It's the little things officers and detectives notice that just don't make sense and get the little hairs standing up on the back of your neck and get these gentlemen to asking questions. An autopsy revealed that baby girl that y'all see right there on my screen had a subdural hemorrhage of the brain. A subdural hemorrhage of the brain. Impact. That is impact. Bilateral optic nerve hemorrhage, healing fractures of the ribs, and minor contusions to the scalp. Sounds like this baby was beat up, grabbed, and roughhoused. How can you look at that beautiful baby girl? Damn. Thank you. You took the words out of my mouth, Dre. It's just like, damn. It's just when you look at that baby's photo, I can't imagine why you would have bad thoughts, why you would be angry, why you would be upset, why you would be anything. Look at her little tongue out and everything. Beautiful baby girl. Opelika police want to be clear. The only person suspected of harming this child is Smith. They were very specific about reiterating that point. this fool, this guy. Investigators say their thoughts remain with the other family members grieving this horrific loss. The deposition also states that Smith initially denied having anything to do with the baby's death, but later allegedly confessed to investigators. We're going to talk about that message here in a moment. That screenshot I have there. So thank you to my Facebook community. DeMarcus admitted to being angry over an argument with a friend and going inside to console MS, who was crying. MS kept crying, and DeMarcus was still upset. I like her name, Malia. I'm going to call her Malia. So he shook the baby. Shook her. She's crying, and you shake a 2-month-old baby? I mean, damn, they don't give these sorry son of a bitches any parenting classes. Common sense. I don't understand why we continue to have sex with thugs, gangbangers, meth heads, and hillbillies. Thugs, gangbangers, and hillbillies. Meth heads. When are we going to start to do background checks? At some point. So let me point something out, guys. I've been doing this YouTube channel almost about 4 years. I'm going to call something out. I've done plenty of stories out of Alabama. I've done plenty of stories of different states. With our channel having as many views as it has, and many other content creators who are stepping up to the plate and speaking on these stories, you cannot tell me between myself and maybe like a dozen of us YouTubers who talk about these stories, you can't tell me that this mother hasn't seen at least one of our videos or know about who we are. And I say we because it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. Why would you not do a background check? Why would you get pregnant by a 19-year-old? And I've told you guys, what are teenagers and young men good for between the ages of, let's say legally, just to be on the safe side, 18. Let's just say 18. Because in some states it's 17, some states it's 16. But on the safe side, for argument's sake, let's just say between the ages of 18 to about 25. 18 to 25. What are men in general, it's not all, in general, what are men between the ages of 18 to 25 good for? What are they good for? Are they good for providing for a family financially? Most men around that age can't take care of themselves, let alone a family. Do they have a house by this point? Most of them do not. Do they have good credit by this point? Most of them do not. Have any of these bastards ever been in any parenting classes? Any experience with children? No, they usually don't. Lastly, in our day and age, how many of these young men, let me see if I get his face back up here. How many of these young men usually have an example? How about a father? Better than 80% of our children in the black community are born outside of wedlock. They don't even have an example of what they should grow and become. Therefore, they don't have a sense of value in themselves. And what he produced, that little baby, he didn't see any value in that baby because he don't value himself. Young men at that age are only good for sex. Young, dumb, and full of cum. Get on the shot, get on the pill, get some condoms. Why have unprotected sex, man? Are y'all really expecting for a dude between an alleged man between the ages of 18 to 25 to commit to one woman? Ooh, let's talk about that. Because I know it's not all. Damn it. But it's too many stories like this. Don't give me stories like this, I have nothing to talk about. If men and fathers, these young men, were treating their babies, treating the mothers, treating their girlfriends, their fiancés or whatever, if they were treating them right, then guess what? I don't have shit to say. You understand? I'm only talking about these stories because there is a glaring thing that is wrong. These people are just flat out disconnected. Emotionally, spiritually, financially disconnected. That is a bad recipe to raise children. As you guys can see, these stories are not slowing down. My emails, I'm having to tell people, slow down with how many emails you send me just so I can talk about a couple of stories. They're not slowing down at all. That's a problem. And the reason I brought that mother up earlier, as far as her, she had to have seen some of our videos, know about some of these stories. The baby's only 2 months old. So give 2 months plus 9 months of labor plus a couple months prior to that, including your gestation period. That would at least be a year. That you would have known that somebody that look like this. Let me show y'all. Let me show you something. Fire marshal. Let me get my fire marshal bill on real quick. Let me show you something. I want y'all to look at this SOB on my screen, and I want y'all to tell me, because they say pictures say 1,000 words or tell 1,000 words. I don't know how it goes. All right. I'm not a damn scholar. I don't remember all of the quotes that well. But I want y'all to look at this picture and y'all tell me. Because maybe DJ's got it wrong. Maybe I got it wrong. But when you look at this picture, what about this picture says responsible father? What about this picture says suitable life mate? What about this picture, speaking of mate, what about this picture says soulmate? What about this picture says good father, good provider, great example, pillar of the fucking community? Huh? I want my children to grow up to be like him. Any of that? Huh? Am I wrong? Well, how about we pile on? We're going to do what's called piling on. How about this? Maybe that was just a bad picture. Maybe DJ just brought up the wrong picture. How about this one? How about this one? Is this a little bit better? Swisher Sweets, weed, video games, sodas and beer, and guns with extendos. Extendos. Extended magazines. What about this says, yes, he looks like an honor roll student. Yes, this person looks like he's going somewhere positive in life. Yes, this person looks like if he got pulled over by the police would treat him just like a law-abiding citizen. Huh? Does he look like a law-abiding citizen to y'all? Or does he look like a baby thug that's probably got a criminal record as long as that damn weapon he's holding in his hands? Why am I bringing this up? Because this is what you find attractive to have unprotected sex with. Because all of those things that I just pointed out, how he doesn't appear to be based on the picture and based on his actions, which we're getting ready to talk about in this news story. If this is what you like, then just don't have kids. Why is that so hard? My body, my choice. This was your damn choice. This was mom's choice. My body, my choice. That's your choice. I get it. But accountability has to be accountable through and through. Not just when it's convenient and gonna make you look good and because it fits your little narrative or whatever the case is. No, you have to follow through with your decisions and say, you know what? If you're going to produce a child, then why would you produce a child with somebody like this? Why? Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. AFC hashtag. Let's keep going with this story. Now, DeMarcus admitted to being angry over an argument with a friend and going inside to console Malia, who was crying. That's what babies do. Malia kept crying and DeMarcus was still upset, so he shook her. After shaking the baby, he gave Malia a bottle and put her to sleep. A short time later, he checked on her and she was unresponsive. Police say Smith lived with the child's mother alone, Birmingham Highway. 19 years old, no place to live of your own because you are unestablished. Why would you expect for this man to be able to afford and pay for child support and be a father and be everything that it is you want him to be to a little girl when you had no requirements for him? All it was that mom enjoyed being with this man because mom was probably low self-esteem. You can look at this dude. Master Splinter rat face looking ass boy. Mom probably had low self-esteem and she was trying to do what it was that felt good to her. Was thinking nothing, and that's a very, very harsh thing of me to say, but it's a very selfish thing to do to that little baby, to put this baby in a position that's going to damn fail. You have no stability for that baby at all. Let's keep going. Police say that this man lived with the child's mom. The entire police department mourns the loss of baby Malia. Our thoughts are with her mother, and the family as they deal with this excruciating loss. Smith remains behind bars at Lee County Detention Facility. He is slated to have his first court appearance late Friday afternoon. We're waiting to hear if he will make a bond in the case. So, I think most of all of this we've talked about. This just gives a few more details of stuff we've already stated. But if you want to look up the rest of the information, it's on the website WDHN.com. That's where I'm getting my information from. To give you guys a fair usage, let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up, it'll help share the stream and let more people know that we're talking about this story. So if y'all would, please make sure y'all do not forget to click that thumbs up, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
News 3 First Edition.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for trusting News 3. I'm Teresa Whitaker.
And I'm Phil Scoggins. Court documents are revealing chilling new details in the case of a 19-year-old Opelika father accused of murdering his 2-month-old daughter.
WRBL News 3's Elizabeth White joins us live from our East Alabama newsroom with the latest. Elizabeth.
Phil, Teresa, good afternoon to you. So the father was arrested and charged Thursday morning. Court documents indicating this could possibly be a case of shaken baby syndrome. Opelika police holding a press conference this morning.
These are the kinds of cases that take a piece of your soul.
Opelika Police Chief Shane Healy emotional following the murder of 2-month-old Malia Smith. Her 19-year-old father, DeMarcus Smith, charged in her killing. Tuesday, just before lunch, court documents indicate an Opelika officer at East Alabama Medical Center noticed Smith, quote, walk from the parking lot without urgency while carrying a car seat covered with a blanket.
The little things that officers and detectives hear or see that just don't quite make sense, you know, gets the little hairs on the back of your neck to stand up and gets these gentlemen asking questions.
An autopsy revealed the baby had a subdural hemorrhage of the brain, bilateral optic nerve hemorrhage, healing fractures of the ribs, and minor contusions to the scalp. Smith initially denied wrongdoing, then investigators say he confessed. Quote, DeMarcus admitted to being angry over an argument with a friend and going inside to console MS, who was crying. MS kept crying and DeMarcus was still upset, so he shook her. After shaking her, he gave MS a bottle and put her to sleep. A short time later, he checked on her and she was unresponsive.
That boy is slower than a bottle of molasses. Put him up against a race with a turtle and he will probably lose. And guess that boy, let me see if I get his face up here.
Police say Smith.
That boy looks slower than global warming. Look at him, dude. Oh, I don't know what happened. Baby was unresponsive. Oh no. That boy is slower than the Titanic.
Lived with the child's mother, who is not a suspect in the case, along Birmingham Highway in Opelika. The couple has no other children.
The entire Opelika Police Department mourns the loss of baby Malaya, and our thoughts are with her mother and family as they deal with this excruciating loss.
And so Smith remains behind bars at the legal.
That boy looked like he smelled like Takis and grape soda.
County Detention Facility. He was slated to have his first court appearance late this afternoon, and we're still waiting to see whether or not he will get a bond. And of course, we'll keep you updated.
All right, thank you.
A Lee County father is being charged with his 2-month-old daughter's murder. News at our 9's Kiana Jordan is live outside of the Opelika Judicial Building, where 19-year-old DeMarcus Smith stood before a judge just a few hours ago. Kiana, I know they held a news conference with more details today. Tell us more about what you learned.
Barbara, 19-year-old DeMarcus Smith was appointed a lawyer and set a bond of $150,000.
These are the kinds of cases that take a piece of your soul.
Tuesday afternoon, 19-year-old DeMarcus Treyas Smith took his 2-month-old daughter.
And sorry, this audio, their audio is messed up on their end. It goes really low, really high, really low, really high. So I'm sorry about y'all ears and the volume. I'm sorry about that.
Malia Stormy Smith to East Alabama Medical Center. And according to police, Smith's daughter was unresponsive when they arrived.
The results of the autopsy showed the baby had suffered head trauma, which resulted in her death.
Officials say Smith was at his apartment along Birmingham Highway, alone with his daughter the day police believe the incident took place.
Our investigation determined that the father of the child was responsible for her care during the time the trauma was inflicted, which resulted in the father becoming a suspect.
$150,000 bond really didn't seem that high, and I agree with Gabe in the chat. I don't know why they gave him a bond at all. I'm sure there has to be a reason. It's your own kid. You caused the death of her. I say no bond. Give him $1 million bond. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe if they're trying to label it as accidental, I guess we will find out some more details as the court proceedings go forward. So we'll maybe find out a little bit more a little bit later.
Opelika police searched the home where Smith and the 22-year-old mother of the child lived together on Thursday, and following that, Smith was brought in for questioning. He was then arrested and charged with murder.
Smith provided details which corroborated evidence linking him to the death of his daughter.
Police are not releasing any specific detail regarding what happened to Malia Smith.
But it's the little things.
2 hours ago, Judge Speakman ordered DeMarcus Smith to have no contact with the mother or family of his daughter and to find another place to stay since he and the mother shared a home together. Live in Opelika, I'm Kiana Jordan, WTVM.
Oh, so here's the thing. We got two more things to talk about. We're going to talk about these screenshots, but first and foremost, y'all know one of the things that I probably harp on more than anybody, not to say nobody, that right there, but definitely, probably a little more than anybody. These damn GoFundMe pages. Now, why do I continue to talk about this? Because we continue to bring children into this world with no plan for how we're going to bury them. And most people will say, well, we didn't plan on the baby dying or being murdered. We all are going to die. If you are born, you will die. There should be a plan for each and every person's life. Now, we'll be fair. Let me be fair. Two things. Let me say this. First of all, 2 months is 8 weeks. I honestly don't think the mom had time to she didn't properly have time to get life insurance. Straight up and down. The mom in 8 weeks, that's not really enough time to get life insurance. Not a proper amount of time. On top of that, you look at the GoFundMe page, and I love that. Maybe it's just because this baby is so beautiful. She has such an amazing smile. I wish I could just pick her up and hug her. Like, little baby, you can cry all you want to. I'm going to console you. I'm going to give you a bottle. I'm going to change you. I'm going to burp you. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to walk with you. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you are comforted. That is the responsibility of a parent. It is taxing, it is hard, and it is not meant for a single person to do by themselves. I've done it. Me and my daughter's mom, we've done it. My daughter is a teenager now. That's crazy for me to even say that. But we've been there and we've done that, and we both understand how much responsibility that takes. And we had an amazing support base. I just don't understand what these young mothers are thinking about when they get with one dude that ain't guaranteed to stick around at all, and you don't have the family support, especially if you don't have the support of the other half of the family to be able to help you out, to provide for you, to get you through these moments. That's got to be very difficult to have that big lack of family support. I'm sure anybody in my chat would have loved this baby and provided for her just the same as I would. On top of that, they only asked, I think $3,000 was a reasonable ask on the GoFundMe. For the reasons I just mentioned, because the baby was so young, you really didn't have time to even get your foot in the door to try to plan for life insurance. And because the baby is beautiful. She's a beautiful little girl. Never stood a chance. Let's talk about something else. Because I catch these screenshots sometimes, and this is going to be a little bit hard to see. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try to fix this up. Y'all give me a moment. Let me see if I can fix this screenshot and crop it, because y'all are not going to be able to see this very well. Okay, here we go. Now, you're not going to be able to see it great, but you should be able to see most of this. And if you guys are watching, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. If you will, try to get as many people watching in the thumbs up, please. Here's a screenshot about this story. The mother, let me see if I can get her name up here. the biological mother's name because they talked about her in an article. Let me see if I can find her Facebook. Where's her Facebook page? Right here. The biological mother's name is Nakira. And again, I found that from a news article, so I wasn't going snooping and digging, but they're talking to the biological mother. She said, Valencia said, I just saw this article. This is so sad that this poor precious baby has lost her life. You young children have no business having children in the first place because you can't choose a partner. This baby's father looks crazy. Why did he take this baby's life? Was it because he didn't want to pay child support, because she was crying, or because he has another girlfriend? You don't even look sad. And is this all you have to say? Is that the baby will never be forgotten? Where were you? Why was he watching the child? The government needs to make all young black women take birth control. Wow, those are not my words. Some of those are words that I've mentioned before, but this comes from an individual by the name of Valencia Whittington, and I already deleted it so you can't see it, but Valencia was blocked because she sent that message inbox to the biological mom. Well, you can see it here. Uh-oh, wait, y'all can't see that. Sorry. Let me put this on the screen over here. Now you can see it. So y'all can see where it says unblock right there. That means for that message that she sent, she was blocked. So y'all can see that down there at the bottom. I think that's very important. And I've told you guys that women follow women. And I think it is so important for women to get on board with protecting these children and standing up and speaking out against people who are putting these children in danger. Very, very important. Last but not least, again, I must show this photo. This is who you left your child in the custody of. This is who you believed was going to take care of this baby, know what to do, and have his paternal instincts kick in. Like he was just going to figure this shit out. When this boy he ain't even figured out how to dress. He ain't figured out how to get a job. He hasn't figured out how to provide for himself. That boy is a murder case waiting to happen. And it did. I don't understand how you can know this is who you're dealing with. These pictures were all up and through his Facebook page. So if I were able to find it that easily, months after this baby passed away, excuse me, not months, but days after this baby passed away, but months after, way before you got with him, these pictures are already there. How was I able to just pull these up and figure out probably not a good candidate to have a kid by? Discernment. It don't even take discernment to figure out that man had no business not only being around this baby, but producing that baby. And I feel so bad for this baby because she's a beautiful little girl. She looked like she was happy. And any responsible person would have been able to take her and do what needed to be done. To young Malia Stormy Smith, young princess, R.I.P. God bless your soul. We hope we get justice against this man. That was his Facebook page. So to this dude right here, same little boy right there, we got to start coming together. And one of the easiest things that you could do is just speak out against the things that you see. Don't see something is wrong and then don't say anything. You don't have to badger anybody. But if you see something's wrong, you must say something. Ladies follow ladies. Women follow women. Sisters, y'all got to start talking to each other. Love each other enough to talk to each other and let everybody know, hey, this ain't the type of dudes we need to be making kids by. If that's what you like, don't make kids by them. If you don't want to have kids by a straight, narrow dude, then fine, then don't. Just don't make kids at all then. But babies shouldn't be subjected to this type of abuse. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I hope that man gets life in prison and there's a special place in hell for what he did to baby Stormy. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me. And again, this is part 2 of our stream. I'm sorry it got broken up. And it got broken up because my internet cut out, and I don't know why it did, but I do apologize. But I will try to bring you guys more solid streams in the future. But thank you so much for your support and for listening with an open mind and an open heart. Let me also say this, because people always ask, is the AFC making a difference? Yes, it is. Our voice is spreading. People are sharing our message, watching the videos, and I get emails and comments from people all the time who say something so amazing like, I got life insurance because of your show. I don't spank my children because of your show. I don't raise my voice to my children because of your show. I saw somebody doing something to a kid and I knew to make a phone call because of your show. I stepped up and saved a child's life because of your show. I adopted a child because of your show. I stopped dating thugs because of your show. I stopped going to the thug zoo because of your show. I started doing background checks because of your show. I have love in my heart because of your show, and I'm thankful for those who understand my very transparent message to advocate for children first. Put the children first. We got to get out of our feelings and put the children first. Thank you guys so much for listening. You have a great day. We got to get justice against him. Let's get him 319 years in prison, okay? Thank y'all so much. Peace.